dog intelligence. Actually, I guess I had dogs on my mind because I saw quite a few people walking them out on the street, and when you watch them interacting with their owners, etc., and you do see a level of communication, I guess, for lack of a better word, that is quite remarkable. Obviously, different dog breeds have different levels of intelligence or whatnot, but it's quite fascinating how they can read people and sort of take cues from people. Maybe not in the strictest sense of how two humans would do that, but they do seem to have a certain amount of skills that can really is really quite incredible. Really, they've really well, I guess we've obviously bred them to be that way to an extent as well, but obviously there was something innate there that sort of allowed for that sort of combination to happen, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I love stories like this. I mean, it just shows how speciest we humans are. We're the most intelligent, we're the best, we're excellent at everything, and everyone else is so dumb, and, or every other animal's just dumb, except for dolphins, because, I don't know. I don't know why anyone's credited dolphins with incredible intelligence and not other animals. But by and large, we tend to look down at other mammals around us on land, and I think generally we underrate them. Horses, cats, quite intelligent animals. Dogs, very intelligent. They communicate in different ways. They don't use language, but they certainly can read people. They can smell people. They can tell whether you're ill or not. I would have thought that's, some sort of intelligence, or we just put that down to, oh, that's just high sensing, but they're very empathic animals. Well, dogs are. I think so are horses. Not so sure about cats, So there's definitely intelligence there in the animals, and anyone who's had a pet dog, knows that really they are your best friend in many ways, even though you wouldn't relate to them as a human friend. So I think, it's about time we reassessed what intelligence was, and rather than just looking at other animals as, not being sentient and therefore not intelligent, is probably not the right way to look at it. And the one example I think of often there is we used to think Neanderthals were dumb, ugly cavemen types. And now it turns out that actually they're probably not that different to us as Homo sapiens, and probably maybe even better looking.
Mm. There's a subject for a whole other discussion right there. The other thing too that, and I guess this might highlight it, if you want to see an example of it, is when you see things like, I don't know, like an owner passes away before the dog does, and the dog can have a fairly significant reaction to that, to the point where, like if they're brought into a shelter or a place where dogs, cats, and other pets are taken to try and rehome them and whatnot, that there can be a significant process that has to be gone through to match a dog up with an appropriate person. If that doesn't sort of indicate that intelligence, if you want to call it, maybe an emotional intelligence, that you need to make sure that the dog is comfortable, and vice versa, that there has to be a proper relationship established there. It's quite amazing that, if dogs didn't have this, for instance, then it shouldn't be an issue in terms of fixing that up. It's not like handing a budgie off from one owner to another or something like that.
Well, that's absolutely right. I think, yeah, exactly, and you probably even find to some extent that birds probably might even be more intelligent than we think. I knew a woman who was researching spiders, and she always claimed that spiders had personality. Now we don't credit insects or arachnids with any sort of, I don't know, sentiency or higher level intelligence, but the idea that a spider could have a personality is not only creepy, but to it sounds crazy, but she might have been onto something. She worked with them every day and reckon they all had different personalities. And I was like, So, and we all know the Pulp Fiction quote about personality. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I guess just finally on that, I think it also shows that humans should respect their dogs as well. The idea, like obviously the traditional relationship is the owner and the pet, and although that's by and large true because we kind of still have that kind of dominion over them in that sense, there still should be a level of respect given the how much devotion the dogs give to us, which you would hope that most people would do that.
Well, you should, and every animal has a right to be treated probably better than we have historically. So that's.
No, well, when you have a look at how we treat each other as well, then it's not really much of a surprise, is it?
Yeah, well, that's precisely right. And if you use that as an indicator of intelligence, then humans probably wouldn't rate very highly at all.
It's probably why the aliens haven't made contact yet. Yeah,
a truly intelligent life would stay well away from this planet. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Or just take the dogs.